New package.
Yeah, new package. And this one, look, I mean, they even have their own box to ship.
So a box in a box.
Well,
I'm gonna do a few things.
yes, all of these. What do they call these? Peanuts?
Oh, I don't know.
Peanuts.
It looks like mark.
This is annoying. You're gonna have to like.
I don't like the sound right now. Horrible.
Oh. Look at this, Josh. It's extra fancy, the box. You become smarter by buying this brand.
Yeah.
They didn't pay me to say that. Whoa! Look, this box.
Oh, wow. Wait, they give you tools?
Yeah. I much appreciate that. Very nice. The links is already removed. It's also wrapped. Wow. Aluminum card. I like it. Wow. There we are. This is a nice, solid wooden box. Oh, look, that bezel click is so nice. No play at all.
That one?
Yes, it's a dive watch, but it has some gold accents on it. That is also very nice to turn. We're gonna have fun with this one. Designer note, subject 95. You see them in movies often. That suave, confident guy with a dreamy voice and looks that could kill. These men sweep women off their feet emotionally while doing equally as effective with men, on a more brutally literal way, of course. The capable spy protagonist perfectly encapsulates what the wise hitman is. Let's take a shot at it. Like, comment, and subscribe for content you'd like to see next. Follow us at Instagram at DesignAtelier Aruba for behind-the-scenes content. Email us designatelierviewer@gmail.com. This video is brought to you by Wise Timepieces. For more of their great and exciting timepieces, visit their website, Facebook group, and Instagram on the links in the description below. We have a 41mm case diameter with a 12.5mm thickness that wears very easy on the wrist with these slim dimensions. The 48.8mm lug-to-lug distance is just at the cusp of overshooting my 6.25-inch wrist, but gladly it didn't. It has a 20mm lug width that's very desirable for strap changes. The crown is threaded that provides a 200-meter water resistance and sports a sapphire crystal. Housed inside is an NH35A movement that beats at 21,600 bph and has a power reserve of 41 hours. Like most capable divers in the market, the Hitman is equipped with a robust case and a workhorse no-nonsense movement. On the aesthetics department, my first impression is that this Hitman can take on the Heuer Altavia for some reason. It's likely due to my association of dual-tone watches and Tag Heuer. The rose gold and steel just projects a luxurious personality that trumps what yellow gold can offer. At least for me. I'm biased, of course. All of the steel facets are satin finished, with the graining following the line of flow of the watch. The chamfers are mirror polished also. These chamfers provides a very sleek surface for light to flow over. This also gives a level of refinement to the shape of the case. This screw-down crown is under 4mm with some decent grips. The flat part is signed with the Wise logo surrounded by a matte blasted background. The lug's underside is nearly flat on this model but is aided by the drooping end links for optimum wearability. The top part of the end link and lugs is appropriately satin finish that provides a stark contrast to the gold center links and accents. All of the rose gold parts on this watch is brilliantly polished. These gold-plated accents have large enough surfaces to capture anyone's attention who's at least peeking a glimpse of the watch. The case back is solid with an interesting mix of circular brushing, matte texture, and polished portions. These watches are individually numbered and cleanly engraved with all the relevant markings, especially the Thailand watch designation. Dial side, we are swooned with a beautifully trimmed blue bezel. This bezel is narrower than most bezels we've seen. Because of its thinness, it just pulls the dial diameter outward, making the dial look larger than it is. It glimmers a nice navy blue from a front, but on an angle it appears a rich and deep blue tone. The markers and numerals on this bezel is very clean, with no bleeding even under the macro lens. While we're looking at it this close, I love this coin edge bezel knurling. It glistens at the touch of light, and it's just so nice to caress and play with. Coupled with the very glossy bezel insert, and we're looking at a bezel that flashes light at all directions. When turning the bezel, you can feel the spring's resistance, and the clicks are nice and audible. I tried turning it back, and there is no backplay at all. The dial surface is an unusual mix of effects that I have never seen before at this price point. The surface itself displays glare much like a matte dial, but looking through the dial, you can actually see the blue sunburst finish underneath. This smoky dial has just a tad of blue in the middle, but most of the circumference is pitch black. The top part of the dial features the Wise Hitman branding and doubled down with the shield index at 12 o'clock. This is slightly balanced off with a two-line text at the 6 o'clock position. That's all too familiar now with most watches. The date window on this one is at the 3 o'clock position with a half marker right beside it. This version has the white text over the black wheel date. Now, if only this was at the 6th. The indexes are applied and done in a matching rose gold accent. You'll see more of the sparkle of light than recognize that these are actually rose gold tone, but it's a plus that they actually match this with the rest of the watch. The hands are very interesting. They are also gold toned, but they are partly skeletonized as well. It's understated, it's not too bold, it's just right. They have some modest angles that reflect the shapes of the indexes. All the hands and indexes are loomed with blue-green BGW9 Super Luminova. This has a special blend that's extra powerful and lasts longer compared to the Submariner, and we can clearly see how this special blend excels even against the best of the watch industry. Even the bezel markers use this great luminous paint. The watch uses an NH35 movement that's easy to use and reliable for even everyday wear. Winding the crown feels good. Setting the hands and date is smooth and pretty straightforward. The bracelet takes center stage as a big part of the appeal, with the center links being treated with rose gold. These links are done well with contrast being provided by the brush-finished outer links. Each resizing link is connected by screw-down pins that's very convenient to resize, especially when Wise packs along the screwdrivers inside the package. The clasp is smaller than your typical size. It's milled and secured, however, with very responsive buttons that need to be both pressed to unlock. There are no mechanical micro adjustments on this one, but you do get another tool for the push pins that's inside the box. Let's not forget too that this clasp is discreetly signed with the company's emblem. The price for this particular model is $345. There are 13 official variations of the Hitman with options for all steel models and matte bezel inserts. On top of this, you can also choose which date wheel color you want to go with your watch. You can choose between white or black. You can further customize the steel models by choosing a different colored second hand. The personal touch doesn't stop there for Wise. Each of their watches are hand assembled with very tight quality control practices. Much like the Hitman, I called Wise as a microbrand on my previous video, but I was pleasantly surprised. The company is actually very popular in Thailand and is comparable to Seiko and Casio. This explains why they could offer so much value at a very high quality. In a way, the Hitman represents what Wise is able to do. Make something very usable for any everyday scenario while delivering this performance in an elegant and dressy watch. In fact, many believe this is why the two-tone watch exists. For decades, precious metals are all the rage and just outside the commoner's budget. When steel got thrown into the mix, this opens up the opportunity for new enthusiasts to come in with their money. This two-tone watch brings the best of both worlds. Like a well-known smooth-talking, classy spy who doesn't mind getting his hands dirty every now and then, the Wise Hitman hits the mark in stunning fashion.